Hi guys, Konstantin here from Konstantin's Gaming Channel. So today in this video I've got a card to introduce you. It's one that you probably haven't seen that often. It's called Radeon Pro WX7100. You haven't heard about it because A, it's a professional workstation GPU, and B, it's quite old. Its release date was July 2016. Now, why would I make a video in 2022 about it? Well, there's a couple of reasons why, but before going through that, let me just tell you a little bit about this card. 1 second, let me just go take the text specs in front of me. I don't have them all and I don't know them by heart. Right, so Radeon WX7100, it's a Polaris generation card. It's a 14 nanometer card, it's designed for professional workstations, like I've said. The first thing you notice about it, it's a very thin card. It's a one slot card. It's designed for mostly workstations and servers, and usually people just run this in Crossfire, and they buy a couple of them for their ability to, you know, accelerate graphical computational works and stuff like that. Now, about the card, it's a blower fan model. Pretty much all the Radeon Pro series from AMD are blower card models. It's quite heavy. I think it has a quite beefy radiator in there. It's not as long as the card itself. The board is shorter. The part of the back is just reserved for cooling itself. Looking at it in more detail, you can see that it has an aluminium radiator on top, and yeah, it's quite heavy, as I said. Right, regarding connectivity, it has, if you can see, it has 4 display ports, so that's quite useful if you're connecting multiple monitors. I like the black color of the PCB as well, and it's got this typical AMD protective bracket here, or shroud, or however we should call it. As I said, it's not a new model. This one I got it off of eBay, not too expensive. Oh, and in matters of connectivity, it takes a 6-pin power requirement, so it's about it requires about 130 watts, so it doesn't use much power, it doesn't take much room, and in terms of processing power, it has 5.73 teraflops, which puts it somewhere around just under 5% slower than a GTX 1060. This model comes with 8 GB of GDDR10 memory. It can do 10-bit color displays, HDR as well, displays up to 8K even, and it supports all the APIs like OpenCL, DirectX, OpenGL, and Vulkan. Now, in regards of GPU power, it's not that strong, so why would a regular guy use it? Well, the reason why I bought it is just for media streaming and media processing, like encoding and decoding videos, and that's it pretty much. It's not going to do more than that. Because this is a unboxing, well, there's no box because it came in a generic box. I'm going to show its gaming capabilities and mining capabilities as well, just so we can have a complete view on what kind of card is this. Should we buy this in 2022, considering that we're still in the GPU shortage, which is not gonna end anytime soon, maybe in the next couple of months. I don't know if you can find it on a good eBay deal, I would go for it. If you want a relatively powerful card in a media PC, or for streaming, or for any media encoding, any like home CAD software like AutoCAD, yeah, go for it, because you'll probably find it somewhere around 300 pounds up to 400 pounds, which is a good price compared to a modern workstation professional card, which goes around, a good one goes around 500-600 pounds. Considering you've got 8 GB of DDR memory with a 256-bit memory bus, it's quite a good deal at the moment, to be honest. So yeah, I wouldn't say no to this, especially if you need a card just for, as I said, encoding, decoding, light CAD, and other professional software, like if you're doing design, manufacturing, architecture, engineering. Yeah, I would consider it, considering that you can't find a decent card at the moment. It's also VR ready, Radeon says, so you can, like, if you need a card for VR content, where you're just dabbling into VR content, and yeah, I'll go for it. And the most important thing is, because it's one slot, you can use it as a dedicated card for a certain activity in your computer beside your regular GPU as well. That's what this card is going to be. It's not going to be the main GPU card. It's just going to be on the computer as a dedicated GPU card for different activities, so I can run my daily activities with my computer doing stuff. And because it's a server, it has a Threadripper processor. In the parallel, I'm going to be doing some video encoding / decoding using this card as a main card. So yeah, I would use it as a secondary card in a computer as well. I don't know if I've said that before. We've been through it. I've done a quick presentation of it. Now next, I'm going to put it in my computer. I'm going to put the computer specs in it to it, and we're going to go through some benchmarks. And like a cherry on top, in the end of it, I'm going to compare it to the main card in my Threadripper system, which is the AMD Radeon Pro WX7100. I don't know if I've done a unboxing of this yet, but I will be doing it at some point when I've got time. And we're gonna see them two together. Obviously, this card is about twice stronger than the WX7100. The results are gonna be staggering, but at least you get like a benchmark, and you get like a starting point to see if this card is worth it or not. Again, I said it's somewhere around 300, and on the current market with 300 pounds, I think you can get like a 1650, and this card is better than a 1650 from the professional point of view, as in video encoding, video decoding applications. Yeah, so thanks for that. The next part of the video is going to be benchmarks after I install it, so stick with me. Right, so this is a short video filmed with my phone. The card is in my system. It's been up and running and installed. The PCIe connector is very easy to install and is very conveniently placed. And as you can see, the card is already running. It's side by side. It's bigger brother W600. You can notice that this fan is bigger as well than this one. Yeah. Next, let's go in Windows, install the drivers, and take it for a spin. Now, to get the drivers for it, you've got to go to the AMD driver support page, and you've got to select professional graphics cards, Radeon Pro WX100 series, and WX7100. Once you click submit, you get the drivers and you choose your Windows variant and install them. Let's do that, and I'll come back to you straight away. So after installing the drivers, I went into the AMD driver application, just checking on the card. Looks like it's identified it, installed. I'm getting some metrics from it. We've got, zero utilization because it's not a primary video card. You've got the fan spinning or not, temperature, clock speed. Also, you've got the speed at which the memory runs, and that's the processor itself. It's going to be a Threadripper Pro 3955X with 16 cores, and I'm using 64 gigs of RAM for this one. Okay, metrics look alright. Right, so this is me into the night here. What I want to say is, after running a few benchmarks on this card, I've noticed something really strange. Under like a 20% utilization, it goes very, very hot, approximately 90 degrees. Right, so looking at it and reading on the internet, apparently maximum operating temperature is somewhere around 95 degrees. So it's really weird why it reaches such high temperature, although it's not really being utilized much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly take it apart, and I think I know what the problem is. The thermal paste must have dried out, because I don't think anybody has changed it. since the card was built probably to 2016, 2017. And looking at the screws themselves, there's no threads on them. So what I will do is see if I can open it and have a look at the okay, so carrying on. Let's see how we open this thing. So if I do these screws here, then this one, probably that should be it. Okay. Okay. But this needs to be cleaned up a little bit as well, so I'm gonna clean this shroud. Now, how do I gain access to the oh, that's it, that's done. Oh yeah, look at that. This was dry as the Sahara Desert, guys. It was really dry. So what I'm gonna do is, there's no thermal pads. Probably this is where the memory is, and looks like it's all right. So there's no thermal pads to put. This looks like it's a heat chamber, so it's really efficient. This stuff you find on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X at the moment, so that's decent cooling technology. And yeah, this thermal paste is really dried up. So what I'll do is I'm gonna go get very good tissue cleaner. I'm gonna go clean this up because there's not much to view in this. I'm just gonna blow it out outside, put new thermal paste, and retry to do the benchmarks. Thermal Grizzly. Whether it's CPU or GPU, just put the bad boy on. It will do a brilliant job. Right, there's nothing else in here. like that. I'm gonna put the cooling system back on, nice and gently. It firmly got in there. Do a quick check to make sure it went through all the holes. 1, 2, 3, 4, all done. Now let's put the back plate on. Let's put the screw. Right, and that's all done. Let's put it back in the system and retest it.